It's Sunday. Yeah, Sunday still. This is our third show today. I just want to say thank you so much for John Nolan, who we had on the other night that Lee got to interview. And he hosted a show for us today with Steve Mothersoul, another guy that we've had on the show in the past. So a Brit from Philly, Brit from England, right? And then they interviewed Stuart Russell from England. So on American Hammers TV, kind of changing things up a bit, but it was awesome, man. It was a great interview. They were all slightly nervous. They told me because it was their first time either being a host or being a guest. So, once they got going, man, it was some really good stories in there. So if you haven't checked that out, please do. And then we had a secret episode today that came out of the blue. We had an ex-West Ham employee on today, and thanks to Scott Davis, who's in the chat room, I see. There you are, Scott. So thanks to Scott Davis for facilitating that, who was in Vegas. That's probably why he's here. He wants to hear your version and make sure you don't throw him under the bus or anything or say any dirty stories about Scott Davis.
Oh, yeah, we're keeping him secret.
But
yeah, was a great guy. Great guy.
Awesome. I'm glad you guys had a good time. We'll get into that in just 1 minute. I just wanted to say, thanks to Scott, thanks to X for being on. Listen, I was, kind of nervous myself. We finally had him on the show. We've been trying to get him for a while, and Scott helped us get him in, and then it was just fantastic. If you haven't watched it yet, please do. Also, I want to thank you guys for popping in tonight. I was trying to get you on last week. I'm so sorry, but I've been going crazy with these shows, and I've been double booking and overscheduling or whatever the case may be. So I'm so thankful that you guys are on here tonight with us. So Lee, and thanks for being here with me as always, my original co-host.
Always happy to be here. Yep.
I appreciate that, man. So yeah, let's start with the first person who's here tonight. That's Wally. Let's get your version of how all the good stuff went down. How was Vegas, my friend?
Oh, it was great. Well, so I flew out of Philly and right to Vegas, and unfortunately, typically from Philadelphia, my plane got delayed.
Now I can't hear Wally.
Oh,
no!
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I can't hear him.
No.
Are you kidding?
We can hear you. Just
I'll just keep going.
I'll try to help fix Gary while you're talking.
Okay. So anyway, I got in.
Sorry, Jeff. I think it's too late for that.
Yeah, not yet.
I can hear you. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I got in late on Friday night. So it was a little bit too late to go out, and I decided to just stay on East Coast time and go to bed like a normal hour for East Coast because I knew we had to get up in the morning early. The event started at 6 a.m. So, and that was a lot of fun getting out, like 5 a.m. walking around the streets of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
There were some really nice women who came up to me. It was really sweet. I loved it. And they were very chatty and open to talk to an old guy like me. It was awesome. I loved it. But anyway,
you're just too charming. That's all it is.
I guess it must be. Yeah.
See, that's not fair. You're all laughing, and I don't know what you said. And
Are you still? Oh
no, I can't hear a word.
He was basically talking about the lovely woman that would approach him at about 5 in the morning.
Yeah, 5 in the morning.
And in Vegas.
They were very well dressed.
Oh yeah.
Very welcoming and very friendly.
Very nice. Anyway,
you should have given me a number.
Yeah. So anyway, I got over to the event and it was I was a little bit nervous because I didn't know anybody. I obviously talked to some people online, but I didn't know a soul going in, but everybody was super nice. John Black did an excellent job organizing everything, and X and Dave Walker were there. They were super great guys. And I met Lena, the lovely Lena.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. She was a big part of it. She was selling raffle tickets, and you know what? I bought a lot of raffle tickets because she's very persuasive.
What exactly was the prize in that raffle?
There was Well, Gary might be able to talk about that later, but
Okay, yeah, Gary. Yeah, Gary. We were so. Did you meet Lena as well, Gary? Wally was just saying he met Lena.
Yeah, she was there. We met her.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, you guys got to have her on the show sometime. She has a great story. I got her story about how she follows West Ham, and so that was a lot of fun.
We will.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you and Lee can host
Okay.
that one, but
Yeah.
I don't. We may have to recruit some. We may have to recruit some hosts for that one because I don't know.
I'll co-host.
I don't know if we're gonna get away with that. Tim and I are gonna get away with that one. I'm not sure.
yeah,
Yeah. After Georgie, this is a different level.
yeah, we got reprimanded by the wives.
The only time it's gotten a little bit rough.
Yeah, but no, more than welcome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
More than welcome,
Yeah.
100%.
Oh,
Yeah.
so yeah, it was great. And then we watched. Let's see, X and Dave brought in Jonathan Spector and had a little, talk with him briefly, and then we had the game to watch, and a lot of singing, a lot of noise, and it was a great time. So
Awesome, man.
yeah.
Gary, how did your trip begin, and how did your trip start over there? Like, how was it? What was the experience like when you first arrived or whatnot?
Oh, I mean, I got to Vegas about 5:45 their time, and I got off the plane. I went straight to Hard Rock with my bag in hand, and I stayed there till about 11:30. About 30 people there, which was good. Just to break the ice, and off to the hotel, and then early morning down the pub.
Nice.
Did anything happen after that, or was that it?
No, that was it. I mean, I was. It turned out I was kind of staying completely the other end of the strip than everyone else. So, I was isolated. So, I was on my own. I was the only person from my group that went. So, it's kind of fun for me a little bit because I wasn't around everyone else. I didn't know when everyone else went back to their hotel.
Yeah.
After
they
the
was
event
all together, and if they did something, they were all there. I was out in the wilderness. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, after the event, I actually went.
I got a good rest. Put it that way.
He can't hear you well.
They didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. After the event, I actually went back to the hotel.
But
and,
Wally's talking. I still can't hear him.
Oh, okay.
Just
yeah,
one
after
second.
the event.
Okay.
So after the event, I went back to the hotel, and just to chill out because it was all you could drink and all you could eat, so needed a little rest time. And then I went to the pool, and then I had to do a little shopping for some items that we can't get in Pennsylvania, but the key was I was following Scott Davis on Twitter, and he was kind of like the dad of the event. He's a wonderful guy, by the way, just a super guy. He did a lot of great organizing, and he was kind of giving a running commentary on Twitter about where he was. And so I managed to hook up with them and had a wonderful dinner, and with like Baz. Baz was there, and met Brad, the New Orleans Hammer.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah,
great guy.
And Jeremiah as well, who gave me this wonderful McMessy T-shirt, which I love. Yeah, so all a bunch of folks, and we had dinner, and then they were all gambling. So especially the British guys seem to love to gamble. So
yeah,
and I don't gamble at all. So after that, I decided to stay on the East Coast time, and I just went back to bed because we were going to get up early again the next morning to do to watch the podcast. So anyway.
So Gary, basically, Wally was saying that he was following. Scott Davis was pretty much giving the rundown real time on Twitter, and he follows him on Twitter. So basically, Scott Davis was kind of like saying, "Okay, well, here we're going, and we're going here next, and so on." And he was saying how he met some really good people over there, including Jeremiah Carson from Green Street Hammers and Baz and Dave and X and all them. And according to all the photographs on the internet there, Gary, it looks like you met the same people too. I mean, it looks like you had some good time. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, everybody I met was fantastic. I mean, it was like being in with royalty once. You know, you were in the presence of X, Dave, and Baz. You know, it was. And then Jonathan Spector, but everybody that was there, Wally came up to me and said, "Gary, yeah, oh wow, Wally, yeah." But it was fantastic. It really was. I mean, I saw them. Brad, who's over there at the game, and he went to the game yesterday with Baz.
Mm-hmm.
He came up and introduced himself like he knew me.
Yeah.
Friday night in a Hard Rock. And then Baz was there, and Baz was a shock. I thought, fucking hell, I wasn't expecting to see you here. And he said, no, he said, like, you know, Scott helped him out, getting him over there, and he had a great time. And it was everybody that I met. I mean, you know, and what sucked for me was the fact that I was the only one that went from our group, and everyone else had a nice little turnout, which was good. I mean, it's nice for me to meet everybody, but it would have been nice if I'd have had a few more around me.
I know, man. I know. Well, you were representing us, so
yeah.
I appreciate
Gary, you should have met some of the young ladies
I
did.
American Hammer T-shirt on when I arrived.
Yeah, Wally says you should have. You should have. What do you have? Sorry, what did he say again?
He said he had his American Hammer T-shirt on.
You know what? Did Wally said something.
Oh, I was meeting some. Gary should have met some of the nice young ladies I was meeting early morning.
Oh yeah,
outside.
He said you should have met some
and
of
you
the nice
would have
young
had
ladies
company.
that he was meeting early in the morning, the first day he arrived. But
well, I met one of those on the last night. Last night I was there. I was out with Baz, X, and Dave, hanging out that night because I had to go straight to the airport.
Yeah.
I was in the casino and. Well, actually, it was before that. We were sitting down at the sports place watching having a bet and stuff like that. And then I walked out to smoke in the casino, and I got propositioned by a young lady, should I say, a lady of the night.
Yeah.
And I made all this. I mean, I was tired. I'd been up since this was like fucking. I don't know what time it was, but I'd been up since like 5 o'clock in the morning. Because my flight was at 1:09 a.m., so I couldn't go nowhere. I just had to hang out and stay out everywhere. And then I said, no, you know, I've got to go. And I said, I'm tired of getting a plane tonight. She said, well, ain't that supposed to be what you do? Go out with a bang? And I said, well, yeah, let me go and speak to my friends. I thought, yeah, right.
Oh God. Yeah, no, there's so out of all the people that were there, who do you think were who do you think which groups brought the most people?
Well, I'll tell you what
Los Angeles,
yeah.
I think.
Yes. Yeah,
definitely.
the Los Angeles.
And they were great. I mean, you know, we got entertainment out of those as well. We got the see one sneaking out there.
Oh my God! Yeah. Did you guys see the video of that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there was one guy.
Baz said to me the next morning, he was fucking laughing, and he said, because after the game, we were singing, and I started singing the Running Around Tottenham song, and Baz joined in and was helping it along, and then so Baz knew what my mind was like, and so the next day he laughed and he said to me, "Was that you who started that song? We can see you sneaking out and West Ham till I die." And I said, "No, that weren't me."
Yeah, what a crew!
What are you saying, Wally?
Well, the guy was, he was stretchered out, and he's fine now, apparently. So,
yeah, the guy is fine as far as we've heard too. Yeah.
Somebody got stretchered out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you didn't see this?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we've been on an all-nighter.
Yeah.
Wait, so was this a drinking thing, or did you get like clocked, or what happened?
No, he had an all-nighter. He spent it out all night. I mean, I'm guessing he was drinking, but yeah, he came in there worse for wears. I don't even think was it at the start of the game that he got carried out, or was it before the start of the game? Wally,
he says it was in the middle. Wally says it was in the middle.
Yeah. But
was it? Yeah, I mean, because he didn't see a minute of the game because he spent all the time he was there laying down on the bench or in the bathroom.
Well, for that particular game, it might not have been the worst thing to have missed it, but yeah, probably not a good state to be in. But so he got stretchered out. Well, I would so want to just get rehydrated. Did he come back?
No, I don't. He
never came back.
Yeah. But when he was stretchered out, we were.
Well, I mean, and I don't know. I don't know. I think everyone else that was there, start off with, was still there, but he might be the reason why I won what I won.
this whole thing about we got to figure out this audio. I'm sorry for everybody who with the tech who's witnessing this this technical difficulty, but basically Gary can hear everybody except Wally. Everybody else can hear Gary. But then Lee will ask a general question, throw it out there, and then two people will answer at the same time because they can't hear each other. So say Gary, what do you think? Wally, what do you?
Hang on, let me throw this.
Need to address everybody.
We'll put our hands up. We want to answer.
Okay, let me throw this one to Gary. I was going to say I got to do the Brady Bunch thing. Looking at him.
Okay.
Gary, so what did you win? What did you said you won something? What did you win?
I won the grand prize in the raffle that we had.
No shit.
What's the grand prize?
Yeah, number one, Wally, number one.
What was it, man?
What was
it? Two tickets to a game of my choice, 2 return flights to London, and 4 nights in a hotel.
Get the fuck out of here!
Are you serious?
And then Baz is going to get me a signed squad shirt.
Oh, you're joking!
You're taking me, right?
That is amazing.
I love you, Gary.
And Dave told me to let him know when I go because I'm going to be their guest for their podcast.
That's fucking awesome, man.
Gary,
I deserve it more than anybody, man. Yeah.
You're like a father to me, Gary. I've always wanted to tell you that.
Well, I'm old, Lee, but fucking hell, come on, mate.
I mean, I'm just.
You wouldn't be living in my house with a hair like that, man. I don't even make it cut.
Gary, you're like my long lost brother. You're my brother, man.
I have deep affection for Gary, and so I would be honored to accompany you to London. I would be honored.
Yeah, come on,
yeah. No.
Well, okay. So you know what was funny was we had they had an auction going, and I guess Gary can't hear this, but I was bidding on this Mark Noble shirt from the testimonial match.
Oh, right on.
And it's signed by the guy who wore it, a guy named Sears. Anyway.
Yeah.
So we were bidding on these shirts, and I won the bidding, on this shirt. And Gary was bidding on it too. So he was pissed at me. So he was like giving me the finger for winning the shirt. But so then when he actually won the grand prize,
I don't know what he said.
I went back to him and was like,
saw the 2 fingers coming up.
Yeah.
He's talking about you.
He beat you up for the Freddie Sears signed shirt in the auction. And so you were like giving him the bird, and then
you won the grand prize, so that you get it right back. Yeah,
get it right back.
Oh,
now Wally, you probably don't remember Freddie Sears, right?
Go on.
No, I don't, because that was sort of in my I go back to 1970, but I never really followed the team closely until 5 years ago. Say
he was a young kid. He scored a fantastic goal against Bolton, maybe. I don't really remember. And this goes back 2005, 2006, 2007, something like that.
Okay.
Young kid, really, really promising player, scored one fantastic goal, and that was kind of it. He never did anything after that. He played for us for a couple of seasons on and off, and then he sort of went back down the ranks. So, I don't know where he ended up, but yeah, he was a promising young talent that sort of didn't pan out, but he was popular for a year or two. So I definitely remember him.
Oh, good to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's legit then.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
All
He's absolutely a legit West Ham player. Yeah, no doubt about that. Yeah.
Perfect.
He went to Colchester for a bit, and now he's with Ipswich.
Oh, is he with Ipswich? He's still around. Yeah, he couldn't be that old now. He's got to be like 30.
Just signed another extension.
Oh.
Did he really?
Well, they're in League One now, but yeah.
He just didn't turn out to be a Premier League player, unfortunately. But his first goal was like this incredible wonder goal, and then it sort of wasn't great after that. So anyway, unfortunate. But yeah, he's legit, totally legit. Yeah, absolutely.
So it looked like we'd asked the question before. You guys both said Los Angeles seemed to have brought the most amount of people. That did look like that. It looked like there was quite a few other and people from other groups as well. But you gotta also remember there's two groups there's two Los Angeles Hammers actually. One is at one bar, and then there's another group of people that there's all Los Angeles Hammers, but they split up in two different bars. There's also intercity Hammers of Los Angeles or something like one of those long titles that we're trying to get one of them on the show too. They're in that area. Sometimes they'll bounce from location to location, and then there's also Hollywood Hammers too. There's a lot in that little market down there. I remember San Diego tried uniting with a portion of that group, and they formed OC Hammers for a little while. From time to time they'll gather together, which is kind of neat. But it's so far everybody that we've talked to from that area, whether it be just on social media or like on the show, they've been fantastic people. I mean that goes with everybody in the West Ham community that we've had on the show or talked to online for the most part, with the exception of those idiots on Twitter, but not all of them. I'm just saying that's where they reside. They tend to hide on Twitter.
Twitter is full of idiots anyway, right? I mean, that's kind of what Twitter is.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, for the most part, no. There's. I'm not saying everybody on Twitter is nitwits. But
I mean, 95% of the people we've encountered have been fantastic.
I think we need to start a new drinking game whenever I start talking shit about Twitter.
No,
everybody should drink.
I'm drinking.
Where's the
we'll be constantly drunk.
I know.
I did in that video with X earlier today. I did get to throw in a James Tompkins reference, and
that's one right
there.
there.
I watched it.
That's one right there.
And PSG.
Oh,
I threw it in there.
Yeah.
Scott brought that up, but I said it
correctly. You pronounced it correctly. I'm so happy that you did that.
Oh, of course.
You said PSG. Of course.
Yeah, and I had to explain to X. See, that's the whole thing. X didn't know what the fuck we were talking about, why I was even talking about Tompkins, and also why Scott was talking about the PSG thing. I was saying, well, it's because I'm like, that's not even his team. I'm like, it's Saint Etienne, and
that's true. Yeah.
And I said, but no, it's just a running gag, like Scott says, it's a running gag, and but basically, it's just that he's an American who refuses to say PSG. He refuses to say PSG. I don't think you've ever said that on the show. Like PSG, you said PSG. But anyway, it was fun.
Force of habit, like calling it football.
It's all good, man.
When you live over there, you got to try to fit in. You know what I mean? That's all there is to it. So.
Scott Davis is in here saying that his liver can't handle my drinking game. But
he's losing it already. He's got he's lost his typing finger there.
Tim's hating on Canadians. What are you talking about?
What?
I'm not hating on Canadians. What are you talking about, man? This is Canada Week coming up. Just so you guys know, before I forget, because I know I'll end the show eventually without with forgetting. Sorry, Wally and Gary. But this is like Super Canada Week. We I did an interview with Scott Davis earlier today with Axe, obviously, and then Tuesday we got Monday night we have finally Hammer City Hammers from Hamilton, Ontario,
right.
And then on Thursday we got Dan Baldwin from Toronto Hammers. So what do you mean?
So dish up the poutine and
I love poutine, man.
Grab a moose head.
You can get some of that in Maine too if you go up. Far enough.
Yeah, no, I've had it up there. Yeah. You're right. You got to go way up the coast, up like down east.
Yeah. Anyway,
you've had it. Did you say you've had it up? Did you say you've had the poutine, Lee?
The poutine.
I get that everywhere I go. So I'm saying, like. Yeah.
Oh, that's a soundbite so one of these days we're gonna go back and cut out clips, famous clips like the one where my favorite one where Lee falls back in his chair Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, my chair broke. Yeah.
That soundbite would be a good one.
Good. You know, my table's about to break too, by the way. It's like it's barely holding up over here.
See, people, you got to buy scarves, man. You got to buy some shirts because we need to buy a new table for Lee.
This is my kid's little mini pool table.
You guys would be
We'll
amazed.
start a GoFundMe.
Seriously.
It's a Fisher Price mini pool table.
Well,
And I'm telling you, it's not meant for holding a computer. And it's like a little rickety now. So
all of the proceeds that, with the exception of the t-shirts 20% goes to charity, but the other 80% actually goes to funding our website, goes to funding our SoundCloud room for our podcast, which by the way are growing like crazy. We got 3 more in development. 2 of them, one of them's already out. That's done 3 episodes, American Hammers Radio, with Kyle from Fresno and what's his name, Zach from Maryland. Now West Ham Corn-Fed Boys is another show we got going on with Kevin from Columbus and Jay from Iowa Irons. They did their first episode, but we got to talk to Jay about not using a phone as the device that he's recording on, because the audio is tricky. But it was still great content though. So anyway, the guys from DC Irons are doing a show, and hopefully with Gary soon. And there's another one that's in the works. I forgot. Oh, Gingerbread. And he says he's got a couple of hosts that he's trying to hammer down a time to start recording some podcasts with us. Steve Mothersoul, the guy that was doing our interview early this afternoon, is with Tebow from the chat room, aka Trevor Beaumont. They're going to be doing a monthly review of West Ham from the UK perspective, right? So that would be good for American Hammers Radio to hear a monthly review from people over there that actually go to the matches. It'd be kind of cool. So yeah, it's really cool. But anyway, this stuff costs money, and all the proceeds from the scarves and everything else are going to that. Plus, to help the channel grow and help expand.
There you go.
Gary, thank you so much, Gary.
Nice, love
Thank you. I love it, and I know Wally's got one too. He put a picture on his Challenger. He gave me a picture in my fucking dream car, which I used to have. These things, we brought the designs back, just so you know. So the one that I know both you guys have this design, that's the original one. We brought it back so people can buy it again, and then this is the one that Gary was just showing.
Yeah, I love that one. I love that
with West Ham United supporters over land and sea. Multiple color options. I mean, we got V-necks, you got all that other good stuff. But I'm telling you, the quality of the fabric, man.
Excellent. It's
no joke. It's like I was expecting this thick, sweaty, like just whatever cotton. Yeah. But no, this is really good stuff. I'm very happy with Bonfire. Very happy.
Absolutely.
And, I recommend it to anybody who's has their own company or whatnot to just do Bonfire, man. It's awesome. But anyway, I went on a tangent there, but no. My bottom line is, there's a lot of stuff that this show we're on the path. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. We're less than 200 away from. We're just over 200 away from. We're like 788 right now. We need 1,000. Once we get 1,000, we're gonna start giving away stuff like these, fancy mugs, which Lee still needs to get one. And
I do need to get one.
I'll get you one. All right, and then all this other stuff. Like we're gonna be giving away, some T-shirts, giving away some scarves, etc. Blah blah blah. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're almost at 1,000 likes on Facebook. If you are on Facebook, like us on Facebook. We're almost at 1,000 on Twitter and Instagram. We're almost at 2,000 followers each. Yeah. That's awesome. So I really appreciate it. Just keep spreading the word. Blah 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 blah. There, I did my end shit before we get to the halfway mark. So anyway, Vegas, baby. So did you guys catch any shows while you were out there? Or did you do anything else besides the West Ham event? Did you have a good time doing anything else?
That's how this was going to start.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. Let's start with Gary.
No, I didn't do anything else. I mean, like I say, I was stuck out on my own, and just set me a watch for the next time I had to be at the pub. But I must shout out though to John Black setting that up. He did a fantastic job. It was.
Yeah, he did.
The bar was all set up, man. I mean, all the bar staff had shirts made. They was like West Ham shirts with their blondies on the sleeve. Everything was 100% perfect. And then also for Scott. Scott was just a gentleman the whole way through it. What he did for a lot of people was great. So a big shout out to both of those.
John had some detractors, but I got to tell you, everybody has said it was fantastic, and we like John. He's a friend of the show. He's a friend of the channel, and I'm really glad it all went well. And even though I didn't get to go, would love to have gone. I appreciate him doing that for all the fans who did go. So, yeah, that's great. That's fantastic.
All right, Wally, what about you?
I just have one thing to say. What goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas.
I bet.
No, I'm just, like I said, I was trying to stay on the East Coast time, so I didn't, I don't gamble, so I had a wonderful dinner with Scott Davis and that crew, and I have to say thank you to Scott because he picked up the check on that dinner, which was so nice. There was probably 10 of us there, and I tried, but he beat me to it. So he's a great guy, let me tell you. And he also wasn't feeling that well that weekend, but he was a soldier. He went through, and he was up there early to set up on the podcast as well because the sound guy from Blondie's didn't turn up.
Yeah.
Had an issue. So he was there. And I wish I could have stayed for the podcast because I had a flight to catch. So I got there at least to have breakfast with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But when they started up doing the podcast, I had to split, which was a shame.
Yeah.
But, it was a lot of fun.
Scott Davis is in the chat room. He keeps talking about LA for next year, I guess. There's rumblings about it. I guess it's not confirmed or whatnot, but
I say Boston. I say
Lowell.
Yes.
This is fucking the home of Mickey Ward, man. Let's go.
I'm with you. Let's do it in Lowell. Let's
do it.
Yep.
No, I honest to God, I love the sunshine, the palm trees. I would definitely be more apt to go into LA than Vegas ever in my lifetime.
I love it.
It's just Vegas is just not me, dude. LA is me, more me than Vegas. But and plus, I'd be allowed to, and I could actually bring the family, and they could do stuff when I'm not doing my thing. So that's cool. Go ahead, Wally. You want to say something?
Well, I'll tell you what. I hadn't been to Vegas since 1982, and it was spectacular. It had changed so much, the whole strip. I stayed in the Paris casino and hotel, and they have an Eiffel Tower there and an Arc de Triomphe there. I mean, it's crazy. So it was a spectacular place, and I can see why X and Dave, loved going to Vegas, as a destination for them to have the event. And I'm glad I went. It was really special and a lot of fun. And I got to see, the spectacular place.
Yeah, I think there'll be a lot more people, though, honest to God. Think about all the people that didn't go to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
For many reasons.
Yeah, I was.
I'm proud of John for getting as many people as he did to Vegas. I am, because I'd say a lot of people weren't thinking that was going to happen. I give him props. I knew he was going to get at least 50, easy 50, but to get 80, good on him. Great job. Because Vegas is tough, because there's a lot of families out there, a lot of family people, especially these supporters groups that just, they don't want to leave their family for a weekend to go do Vegas. They don't, and they're not going to bring their family to it. I don't know, for the most part. I'm not saying everybody. I'm just saying there's a good portion of people who didn't go because of that reason. So, LA, he's going to get a lot more people. Whoever does LA is going to get a lot more people. Depending on the time of year. I know the Chicago guys said that they wanted to try to do an event over there. Good on them. I'm never going to O'Hare again for the rest of my life. I already made that point. I fucking hate O'Hare. O'Hare 2 times in my lifetime. I've gone all over the fucking world, man. And 2 times I've lost my luggage. Fucking O'Hare. The 2 times I've been, so fuck them. They never found it either. And I had some really, really
They never found it?
Never found it. And never, yeah.
That's not lost. That's not lost. That's somebody.
Saying. So either way, whatever. But that's just personal. So again, please don't get upset anybody about my opinion. I'm not telling people what to do either. I'm just saying that's my personal opinion. Even though a ton of people would go to Chicago. Chicago is a fucking beautiful city. I love Chicago. Absolutely, I would go to Chicago. I'd have to take the fucking train or something. That's just my personal thing. Or I drive there. I don't care. But no, I prefer someplace like LA or Miami. Someplace nice and hot and fucking.
I am like you. I'm not a big Vegas guy. I don't really gamble. I've been to Vegas within the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah,
It's not my scene. It's not my thing. A lot of people love it, and that's great. It's just not my thing. I love it.
exactly. I'm not knocking. Listen, and that's the other thing. I'll tell you one thing right now too. That some people were getting upset with other people for saying the same shit that I'm saying. And people got upset with me too, saying that, like not on air. Obviously, I didn't really say that, but just saying that, it's not my cup of tea, or certain families. Well, that's just my opinion.
That's okay. It was a great event.
Exactly. And nobody is knocking anybody who went to that event. Everybody is super proud that event took place. Everybody's super proud that that he was able to get that shit. So, anyway, let's just pick some place where everybody can go.
I'll go anywhere. It was so much fun. I'll go anywhere.
How about Dallas? It's easy to get to Dallas. It's cheap, and it's warm.
That'll never happen because fucking unless Wayne does it himself. Because I mean, John and Wayne have a love-hate relationship, I guess you'd say. But.
Well, John doesn't have to do it. Anyway, just to throw that out there, because I could go to Dallas, easily go to Dallas.
Why not Houston? Houston's bigger. Oh.
Been to Houston?
I'm just fucking with you.
I'm just saying.
I know.
I don't love Dallas, but I really don't love Houston. Anyway, that's a different story altogether.
But I'll tell you what, if they do LA, that's where Lena lives. So,
Oh, is that where she lives?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right. Lena lives in LA. Yeah. So, what was she like? I guess I'm a little bit curious. Sure.
Oh, she was, she was really nice. I had a nice chat with her about her. I was curious about her origin, West Ham origin story. Yeah. And I guess she's moved around a lot. And so.
You could say that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but she was really nice, and she sold the raffle tickets, and she helped John kind of, as like the hostess kind of thing. So she was really, really nice.
And so I don't know if everybody here knows, but Lena does some adult,
entertainment. Yeah. She's an adult actress. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, but that, you wouldn't have known that. Trust me. If
100%.
West Ham fan like all the rest of us.
Yeah, she was really into it. She was into the game, and we had
that's all that matters.
Yep.
That's all that matters. Yeah.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know, Gary. Did you meet Lena? Did you talk to her? I think you said you did.
Yeah, I mean, I did. But I mean, just in passing, I never really spent much time talking. But
she's Polish, right? Isn't she Polish?
Yeah, she I think she was born in Poland, if I remember rightly. But she's traveled around a lot with her family and.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, we have all kinds of people who follow West Ham, and that's cool.
Yeah.
All that matters is West Ham. That's all that matters.
That's it.
But I thought she had come on board because of Fabianski, but no, she's been supporting West Ham for a long time before that. So
yeah, I get that impression. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Now I guess someone in the room. I mean, there's a lot of people commenting on what we're discussing, but in the chat room, people are saying, they're agreeing that LA sounds nice. John Black, his ego is flying through the roof right now.
He did a great job.
And he did a great job. But listen, I mean, you gotta play nice with others though too. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
He said Chicago offered him a venue that they share with Liverpool. It was a Simon Cowell style. So no, it was a Simon Cowell style no from me. So anyway, and just shit like that. Someone said DC, who's from DC. What's up, Lucas? Where's my podcast, brother? Gabe says Dallas, question mark. I guess.
Dallas is easy to get to. It's a big city.
And then John chimes in again with Dallas. Again, no one showed up, so no love for me. That's ridiculous, man. Like we're all West Ham supporters. You can't be like that.
You know what? Listen, John did a phenomenal job in Vegas. It just takes somebody to take on the responsibility.
No, I know, but you don't. We don't need this divisive bullshit either, though. Like seriously, like we're all West Ham supporters.
I agree. Yep.
I don't appreciate the people that were slagging him off when he first brought this up. You know what I'm saying? I backed him in the beginning because there was a lot of people in the Facebook groups, like American Ironworks and so on, that you know, they were like, you know, fuck you, like no, like you, why here? You know, you're not. Oh, I don't like it. I tried, or those people are saying, "Oh, I tried it already. It's not going to work." You know, you're going to fail. You're going to fail. You're going to fail. I'm like, that's not right either. Like, but at the same time, like, fucking just no more sides, man. Nobody. Seriously, let's all just seriously. If we didn't fucking show up, you know, it doesn't mean we're yes, and you're right. It was him, and we're actually going to have him on the show in a week or so because he finally got a group going. He finally got a bar. Keith from Keith Willis is going to join us for he's
Smokehouse.
Albuquerque.
Smokehouse, Merrimack Street and Lowell, the Smokehouse. We'll go down and you know, hang out there. We'll go.
I know. My whole point though is, listen, we can all just get along, man. Right? Like, ignore all the bullshit from everybody, and let's just fucking move on and be happy hammers. All right, let's think about the club.
I agree.
Right? Let's be happy hammers.
We're all together in this. You know what, Tim? Let's write a big check to the city of Lowell and use Colley Stadium.
Fucking A, yeah. Seriously, it's gotta be like Mayo.
Sorry, that's just an inside joke.
Oh yeah, fucking oh yeah, the $16,000 check. Yeah,
$16,000 check. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
We'll talk about that some other time.
All right. So anyway, sorry about that. I just you know, that divisive bullshit was just, you know, I'm sick of it. I see it on social media all the time, and I fucking hate it because we're all hammers. Anyway, moving on. Let's go over some West Ham news since we're already past the Vegas point. You both had a great time. You both won something, or you won a bid, and then you won the raffle. So awesome. So happy to hear it. Now we're going to get your opinions on some current shit. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Who, and I'll start with Wally this time since I started with Gary last time. But Gary, you're up next. So when I let you know, you'll be up next, right? All right. So who, Jesus Christ, I got to pull this up first. I'm getting ahead of myself. Fucking hey, so that you guys can at least see what the question is ahead of time, even if you can't hear what's going on.
Hammers polls?
We're doing Hammers polls right now. So basically, who will score more goals in the Premier League this season? Teemu Pukki?
Sorry.
Pucky? Pookie?
I don't know.
Or Snooky? No, what's his name? The Basque Batistata? Or no, what was the name again? Or the Busquets? I don't know, whatever. Sebastian Aller. So Pukki or Aller will score more goals this season. Teemu has 5 goals currently, and Aller has 2. Wally.
All right, so I think it's going to be Aller because next week at Norwich, or I guess Norwich is coming to us, right? Anyway, Antonio is going to crunch Pukki out for the season. So I'm going
nice one. There you go. Cool. Gary, what do you think? Who's going to score more goals this season, Pukki or Aller?
I don't know. It's hard to pick right now with him having 5, but I think Aller's going to score more. I think he's just coming into his prime right now, and he's going to be banging them in every week.
Put it this way: Aller is going to score more bicycle kicks than Pukki scores goals.
Whoa! Bold prediction. It's a Gary. Wally says Aller's going to score more bicycle kicks than Pukki scores goals.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
could be. You never know, man.
He keeps trying them. You know,
that was beautiful.
He does. He does have a penchant for them.
Yeah.
So it's actually what I was trying to say was Baguette Batistuta.
Yes, Baguette Batistuta. I was once told that I look like a fat Gabriel Batistuta. So I've always been a fan. So what I'm referring to is that someone in our Discord posted a thing from Twitter from West Ham clips. God Almighty, I can't play it because we can't get audio or anything I pull up on the screen share. But it just Google, or not Google, but if you're on Twitter, search West Ham clips, and then you'll see the video I'm talking about. It's basically an alternative translation, or alternative commentary of the highlights of the Watford match.
And it's fucking hilarious. Absolutely one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time. I've seen a few of theirs, but this one takes the cake, man. He said fucking when Noble took his penalty, he was like, oh, you know, it's such an erotic display of a penalty, like a penalty kick. I mean, it was so sexy. And that's funny. But they kept calling. He said basically, West Ham Clip says from now on, we have to call Allaire Baguette Batistuta, and he won't accept any other thing. So anyway, Gary, we'll start with you this time. Should Antonio start next week? Yes or no?
I already answered that one. Sorry.
That's fine.
Go ahead. Oh, where'd Gary go?
Gary?
Yeah. Everything's going funny. All my sound is going funny. And that just went off as well.
And you're sideways.
Yeah, you've gone sideways on it.
Sideways, bro. Oh, there you are.
Passed out already.
But no, nothing.
Can you hear me?
Hello. Here we go. Hold on. That's better.
All right.
Can you see me?
Should we? Yes. Should we start Antonio on Saturday? Gary?
I don't think so. I mean, Antonio was fantastic Saturday, but you know what? I think he's better when he comes off the bench. I think when he starts the game, he's got too much time out there. He's not the same. He's not as effective as what he is when he comes off the bench. He has time out there to stroll around and do his own shit. You know, put his blinkers on and go running and hit the ball out of the stadium. Now, when he comes on, you know, in the second half or whenever he comes on, he's got more of a purpose, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Wally, what do you think, Wally?
Yeah, start him. Yeah.
Start him?
Yeah.
I think he's in good form. I understand what Gary's saying. I think he does make a good point. He's been a good impact sub.
Yeah.
And I think his form is good enough that I would give him a shot at starting. Yeah, I would.
Well, we'll split it 50-50 because I'd say I will mimic exactly what Gary said. And my reason is because I'm not his biggest fan, but he has impressed me off the bench. He didn't impress me at all starting against City. At all. I was wondering why he even started against City.
Who did?
I know there was reasons. Well, it doesn't, dude. Don't get me on the rant. I go on a rant. Rant.
We won.
Oh, Jesus.
Happy tonight. Yeah, we won. We should be happy. Yeah. So no ranting.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but I understand what you're saying. I like his form.
Nobody fucking played good against City, and that was bullshit. It was disgusting, and you know that as well as I do.
I'm with you.
But again, they all should have. But anyway, I'm sorry.
I think Frederick shined against.
That's my rant light. Anyway, so Antonio was fantastic on the bench. He's proven so, and just let's keep him that way. And Yarmolenko needs more minutes, I believe, because he still needs some fitness. And I think that he didn't have as bad a game as everybody says he had.
Really?
And we did absolutely. And X said that on the show earlier today too. Said the same thing. He's like, look, his passes, he has some decent, beautiful passing and movement. And there was a lot of times, yes, he was out of the game, but at the same time, he didn't have his shit a game. He just had moments, just like anybody else in the squad. But anyway, next question. Sorry, I don't want to go on a rant.
I thought it was pretty bad.
He had bad moments. I mean, I can't say bad. I mean, I don't know, man. He had some good moments too. Yeah. Will it cost us not improving the fullback and defensive midfield positions in the summer, Wally?
What was that question again?
Yeah, exactly. My English no good tonight. Let's try this again. Los Costas. Will it cost?
French you were speaking today. It's all the French you were speaking. That's what.
Will it cost us not improving the fullback and defensive midfield positions in the summer?
Well,
going forward,
I think we're good at fullback, to be honest, because both Masuaku and Frederick shine to have.
You said Frederick shine.
Wally,
you're gonna smack you, man.
You know what's funny? I was watching on Saturday, and I was so hoping that Fredericks would have a really good game so I could dig into you, Tim.
I know.
But you know what? He kept running up, and he would just pass it and give it up to somebody else. And I was like, "Oh, damn! I'm not gonna."
I lost count because I have this thing. It's called a global media box. It's fantastic. It's pretty cool. So there was like some Israeli station I was watching that had the game, but then it kept freezing and then stuff like that. So I watched like I'd say 80% of the game, real time, and then I had to watch it back after the fact. But so I was flipping around the stations. But anyway, I counted on my hand 6 passes directly. With nobody around, 6 passes directly to the opposition, as if his head wasn't up. And I said this earlier too, but so that's a problem, man. Like I
so wanted him to have a great game, but he, you know what? I have to admit, even though I love him, he didn't.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. I know you do. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
So
I agree. I think yes, I would say yes.
Okay, it will cost us. You think so? Even though I think what we did to Watford was just damage them. Like again, kind of what we were discussing before the season started. That with the lack of defense, that we'll just hammer teams with our offense as much as we can to utilize that as an offense. I'm sorry, as a defense.
They missed a couple of sitters though. I mean, they missed a couple.
Yeah,
a couple of.
They did.
So did we.
One in the second half in particular, the blonde guy for Watford, whose name I can't remember.
Will Hughes.
Yes, just should have tapped it in. All he had to do was tap it in, and he put it over the bar. I mean, it was just incredible. It was like an Antonio, effort. It just was easier to score. I listen. Well, let's have Gary answer the question first.
Yeah, Gary, what do you think, man?
Oh, I think definitely. I mean, we're gonna score goals, but we're also gonna concede goals, and my fear is that we're going to concede more than what we will score.
Yep. Well, we usually do.
It's one thing having what we've bought and scoring the goals, but if you're not stopping them from going in your own net, what was the point in spending that money?
Listen, the commentators talked about it on Saturday. We all saw it on Saturday. We get torched down both wings because we don't have fullbacks who can defend. Masuaku's pretty good going forward. I'm not a huge fan of Fredericks on any level except the fact that he's fast. But again, they come down and they get those crosses in because we don't have fullbacks who can defend. And it's you got to have a solid back four. I think central defense we were really pretty good even without Balbuena there. But I really think in the fullback positions we're weak. Not even I think it's just plain weak. And I again, good performance, good match. I know we had a couple of chances we could have taken that we didn't take, but Watford had at least 2 that I can think of, and one was the one we were just talking about. Just tap-ins that they missed. Yeah. When we were at total 6s and 7s in the back, and I didn't think Tim, I didn't think Fabianski had his best game either. To be honest, he didn't really have to.
I thought Fabianski was worse against Brighton, but again, that's just my personal opinion.
I thought he came out way too soon on the goal. I thought he exposed himself way too much on the goal.
I know.
But anyway,
if you watch the goals against, he's too far out. He positions himself in a situation like, and people were saying, "Oh, I remember in our Discord where we have like a pre-match and a during the match and a post-match chat in our Discord." And the during the match one, I remember saying something about, "Oh, he fucking let an easy one in again." I mean, he could say that, and everybody's like, "No, it was the defense, the ball watching, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, yeah, but if you saw, he went to his left when he should have just stayed put and followed the ball, and then he had a dive to his right, but because he was already going the wrong fucking way. He went to go down to his right, and he was just like maybe 2-3 feet short, like maybe a yard short of touching the fucking ball with his hand, and it's just stupid shit like that. That happens all the time. I swear to God, please, somebody listen, there's some like West Ham clips, or not just West Ham clips. There's like Dan Coker, if you're out there watching this, please edit all of the goals against from Fabianski. Please just compile them all into one video and just show everybody what the fuck I'm talking about. Thank you. Drop mic.
The fullbacks are going to kill us.
All right, so let's get into another one. Lee, I'll start with you for this one. How about that?
Okay.
This one. So, all right. So the last player to score, I don't know, that's bullshit. Never mind.
Perfect for me then.
Who starts against Newport? I like this one. We did this one earlier today.
Oh, Newport. Yeah.
Noble, Wilshire, or a youth player, and state who.
I actually would start Noble again. No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Because we need him in the Premier League.
We do?
No, I would start Wilshire. And I wouldn't start a youth player because I actually want to win this trophy. I think we can win this trophy.
Yeah.
I think these cup matches, these cup ties, we need to take them seriously, whether it's the Caribou Cup or the FA Cup. We need to take them seriously.
And if we get drawn Millwall in the next round, we're all going.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We're all
going to that. We're not going to miss that. No, I would start Wilshire because I think what we saw from Noble on Saturday was his leadership and his toughness and, of course, he's a great penalty taker. Right now, we're a different club with him on the pitch. I don't know how long we're going to have him in the Premier League. I don't think he's going to play 38 matches. So I think we have to save him for the Premier League. We start Wilshire. I think he should be good enough to get past Newport. Famous last words after Wimbledon last season, obviously, and West Ham failures in the past. But I would start Wilshire. I wouldn't go with the youth player at this point. I wouldn't even know who it would be. So.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, Gary, what do you think? Should we start Noble or Wilshire or a youth player in that position against Newport in the League Cup?
I think Wiltshire. Noble, he doesn't need to prove himself, but Wiltshire, I think, I think his form is there, but it's not there 100%, and I think this is the kind of game that he can get himself flowing again.
Yeah,
and try and put a bit of leadership out there as well.
Yeah.
What about you, Wally?
Noble showed what he can do Saturday after he's been out. So we've got no question marks over him.
Yeah,
so Wiltshire shout.
I think Scott Davis on the on our chat earlier today, we asked the same question, and he was basically saying that we should definitely put out a strong squad against Newport because we should try to win this, obviously. But we should have Noble come off the bench, like as a just in case type of deal, because he just came back. Yeah, he just played 90 minutes, and we don't want to injure him. But at the same time, we might need him against Newport. You never know, right? No VAR, obviously,
which is good. Sorry, I don't care if we have had 2 goals saved by it. I still hate it.
We haven't had any calls go against us, is what they're saying. So I think that
we've had. Well, City didn't really matter, but we had a Brighton goal taken away that would have lost us the match. So I should be loving VAR, but I don't love it.
Yeah,
it takes the out of the game.
True. Wally, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Wilshire because Noble played 90 minutes, and it's only like 3 days later. Mm-hmm. And I think we should save him for Saturday against Norwich. And so go with Wiltshire. He'll get more playing time and hopefully get more into form.
Yeah, definitely. Real quick, I guess this was retweeted earlier today by Hammer's Polls. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Gaz made this graphic for us, and he posted this on Twitter for us today. Basically, it says American Hammers, we need your help. We're nearly at 1,000 subscribers, so help us reach our goal. Remember to like, share, and subscribe our videos. And thank you all for continued support. We really appreciate it, and we really do. We appreciate every single person we've ever had on. It's taking time out of their lives to join us on the show. Everybody from ex-players to, West Ham media to, just West Ham supporters from all over the world. Really appreciate them taking, their time on, some people would show up at like 2 a.m. their time, or, 10:30 in the morning or whatever to do this with us and help us spread the word. So basically, again, just so everybody knows, it's more so about we want to slap the club in the face and say, hello, wake up, we're here, and prove that the West Ham support is growing over here and stop ignoring us. Treat us like Tottenham treats their American fans. or how City treats their American fans, or how Liverpool treats their American fans. Treat us the same, like seriously, and not just us Americans, but the Canadians and the people in Australia and everywhere else in the world, in Brazil. Like seriously, like you want to be a big club. You promised to be a big club after you moved out the Berlin. Well, treat us like it.
This is what it looks like.
You wouldn't be having 50,000 people or almost 60,000 people in your stadium every single week if it wasn't for us. And yes, a lot of us from all over the world fill those seats as well, not just the people from England. So just remember that. So anyway, that's what this is about. But anyway, one last question, guys. 3 games in so far. Who's been your standout performer so far out of these? Allaire, Lanzini, Antonio, and Rice. We'll start with Wally. Wally, what do you think?
Okay, I think that's Lanzini because he's been stuck in every game, and he's always, he earned the penalty today, or yesterday rather, and yeah, I think Lanzini he's been the most consistent out of all those, in my opinion.
Gotcha. Gary, what do you think?
I don't know. It's a toss-up between Haller and Lanzini, I think. Haller, he can only do what he's dealt, and with what he's been dealt so far, and if he's not getting that service, he's not going to be in the game. Lanzini's been improving, I think, every game.
Yeah.
So I think I'll get to Lanzini.
All right, Lee, what do you think?
Just to be a contrarian, I'm going to go with the super sub Antonio. I think he changed the game against Brighton. I think he changed the game against Watford.
Yeah.
And he's inconsistent. I get that, but I think through 3 games this season, the last 2 in particular, I think he's been really important for us. In his limited minutes, I'll go with him.
That's who I chose earlier today too when we did this question. Basically, I say Antonio just because of the impact that he brought out of all these players, the impact that he brought off the bench. I mean, it wasn't until he came off that Allaire and everybody else started to really shine. But with Brighton, I mean, you could tell there's a difference in the air when he came off the bench. The first match did not impress. I don't even count the first match. I mean, as in, yes, I count the first match as a person. I'm saying in this instance, I don't because nobody played good.
Yeah. We're ready to play. Yep.
What happened to Wally? There he is.
Oh, there he is. He's coming back. There he is.
So he's trying sneaking away.
You see you sneaking out.
Yeah, so I say Antonio, but at the same time, Lanzini would be a close second. I mean, Allaire, from that one Watford match, I mean, he looked phenomenal, but he didn't really do. Nobody did anything in the first match, and he didn't play against Brighton, so I can't say he made that much of an impact. I would say Noble really that one game made more of an impact than all these guys. Yep. You could just tell. I mean, him and his being a captain and everything else is just really shown. So anyway, it's time to wrap up, but I just want to mention a couple things real quick. Don't forget about drinkwaredesign.com. Makes these awesome mugs. Don't forget about our scarves. Please go to AmericanHammersTV.us and purchase yourself a scarf. We still have not ordered them yet because we have not met our quota. Next thing would be check out our website as well. And also the link in the description has both the addresses for our fantastic, luxurious, quality t-shirts. Yep. So anyway, it says bonfire.com/AmericanHammersTV and also bonfire.com/AHTV2. We do have a show tomorrow night. We have a show tomorrow night. And we got a show Tuesday, the Fantasy Premier League show with Alex. I love those shows. They're starting to grow a little bit. We actually have over 200 people. I thought we only had 199, but that was the last I checked. We have like 210 or something like that in our fantasy league, which is kind of fun. And and then Wednesday and Thursday we got shows lined up, and then all that good stuff. So anyway, please like and subscribe. That's all I care about. What else? Thank you everybody in the chat room for watching tonight and chatting away. The chat room was fantastic tonight, as always. And Gary, listen, man, love seeing you again. We're gonna have you, pop in from time to time more often. And same with you, Wally. I'm so glad to have you back as well.
Yeah, we'll see you on Saturday.
Oh yeah, I'll see you on Saturday. That's right. So anybody who wants to go to Philly this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, now I can hear you, Wally.
Oh,
Now I can hear you. What the fuck, man?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
This whole time and just now?
That's
You
fantastic.
were
Yeah,
good. You could hear.
it's been so fucking frustrating all through. I'm sitting here like a fucking lemon because I don't.
Let's start over.
I
Do it
can't
again.
join in.
Do it again.
Start again.
Oh god.
You done that on purpose, Wally. I know you did, you bastard.
Welcome
Of course.
to Hammers TV.
You won the grand prize on us. Wow.
Oh, payback.
Yeah.
All right. But listen, Gary, thank you so much for coming back. Thank you, Wally. Thank you, Lee,
Yeah,
for
thank you.
spending. Thank you all for spending your Sunday evening with me. Really appreciate it, and we'll see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right, guys. Have a great night. Come on, you Irons.
Bye.